Not even 5 seconds with Danny Trejo on the scene and he's already fighting Cisco, breaking stuff, because he's Danny Trejo, and I honestly would not have it any other way. Also, Cisco has a popcorn machine right there in his house. That's freaking awesome. Who does that? Who has the freaking lamp and everything? What I love right here in this scene is the fact that Barry has moved on and he's finally gained some closure after his mom's death. Remember that the murder was solved season 1, but it took all this time for him to take it down. We don't have to worry about the infamous time travel fuckery to go down this season.
The facility is poorly guarded.
Clearly.
Do you guys see what I'm talking about? He's so angry, such an angry human being. By the way, in the comic books, Breacher is the father of Gypsy, and he does have the ability to travel the multiverse. But in the comics, he's contained to a suit because he's basically completely energy now. He also sets up Vibe to be a bomb. Long story, but you should know that the TV version seems to be the nicer version.
You look like someone I once sent my daughter to kill.
I get that a lot.
Oh, why would you do that? Why would you remind us of that? HR, you deserved better. That's fucked up. Why would you do that? Why would you hurt everybody like that?
You have ridiculous hair, he has ridiculous hair.
Okay, but...
And you both love Gypsy.
See, I find this funny coming from the man who's had more hairstyles than Wally West. They may have been different versions of him, but it still counts.
Dibny detects. Your husband didn't die in that plane crash, Mrs. Broom.
He didn't? Then where is he?
Well, that brings us to the difficult part.
Finally, we get to see Ralph Dibny, and who else is hella excited. The Flash and Dibny have a very long relationship, and as detectives, they both find themselves working together very often. But it seems like in the TV show, they don't actually like each other, which I'm gonna assume is gonna lead to some pretty awesome team-up episodes. And there he is, all stretchy. He is becoming the stretchy man. How are the guys holding him upside down not freaked out by this? Why did they hold him while he slowly slid down onto the street? There's so many questions. So many things wrong with this, but I love it.
Oh, is that my face?
See, this is gross, but when I saw this, all I could think was that he looked like a mutilated Snuffleupagus. So the bomb goes off and Barry vibrates them through the floor and out of the building. That's great because he's not hesitant at all. He didn't worry about anything. He just grabbed Iris, he got out, boom, done. But it does make me wonder, was no one else affected by this bomb going off in this office building that clearly had other rooms? I don't know. Now that Ralph has his shape back, I think it's a good time to talk about his powers. So yeah, we know he can stretch really far. That's great. Everybody loves the stretchy dude. But his powers aren't just limited to stretching. He can transform his body to make weird shapes, and he can also enhance certain parts of himself, like when he grew his eyeballs, so that he could see something that you would normally need a magnifying lens for. His shapeshifting is pretty much limited to what, his body will allow. It's been said that Plastic Man has more shapeshifting ability than Elongated Man does, but we don't know exactly how they're going to have him go down in this show, so he might be able to transform into things that, he couldn't in the comic books.
And he threatens to show them to my wife unless I pay him.
So Dibny is the bad guy, and Barry was right.
What do I care about cops? Waste them.
So Dibny isn't the bad guy, and Barry was wrong. That's the Flash I know.
And he was gonna get away with killing his wife, and then you let him go. I was a good cop. I was a good detective. I lost everything.
My God, why am I so entranced by this man's acting? He's just so heartfelt and in his face, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I believe he's innocent. That's crazy. Just look at this. So what you're telling me right here is that in this scene, Danny Trejo admits to carrying the plot force in his pocket. Because just how would he have that? Just why? Who does that? Come on. How unlucky are these cops? Really, if we're being completely honest, how unlucky are these cops? How seriously fast and together is the Flash right now? He's so much less hesitant than he was before. He's finally turning into the Flash that we all know and love from the comic books. And here, he just hears the gunshot, he freaks out for like a second, but that's it. How many times has Barry slowed down everything around him and then just like stared in amazement, like, I can't believe this is happening.
Bullet booger.
Just freaking how great was this? Alright, this is all kinds of awesome, and I'm glad that they're bringing this into the show. I was worried that it was going to get dark later, but now I have faith that everything's going to be okay. He doesn't just have elastic powers, they're playing with his elastic powers, and I hope that, he keeps that throughout the show. Yeah, I hope that he becomes a better hero and he can control his powers more, but I hope they don't lose this part of him.
Hold on, Ralph.
The Flash and Dibny finally team up, and it is just amazeballs. I love this. How do you make the Flash better? You give him a teammate that is elastic, almost indestructible, and will constantly question the Flash's actions with humor. We need Dibny. Dibny is the hero that we deserve.
Cynthia, what's your dad's name?
Josh.
So if you guys are wondering, yes, her name is actually Cynthia in the comics, but his name is actually Quell Mordith. It's safe to say that he may have been lying to Cisco here, but Josh is definitely funnier.
Plastic Man.
I think that's the dumbest name I've ever heard of.
Yeah, Cisco comes up with the names. So.
Yeah, it's better that way.
No, Barry. Plastic Man is the other plastic guy who actually turns out to be, you know, a better elastic hero than Elongated Man. But like I said earlier, that's just in the comic books. In the comic books, Plastic Man is more powerful than Elongated Man. But here, you know, who knows?
Well, they gave me his last name, DeVoe.
You and I have been enemies for years. Oh, you've had others, of course. There's Dawn, Zoom, DeVoe.
This is just blowing my mind here that they're finding out about DeVoe this early. The team is actually going to have a chance to fight him throughout the whole season, and that's if the other villain doesn't show up. You guys know who I'm talking about. This is amazing. So many better things happening right now.
I smell a mystery.
And to end the entire episode, amazingly, they did the nose wiggle. That's actually what he does in the comics when he feels like he's about to fall into a mystery. His nose just involuntarily wiggles. He can't stop it. Like, people know what he's about to do before he does, because sometimes he doesn't even notice his nose is wiggling. So this was just freaking great to see. I loved this, and just, it's so much potential. Just, yes, thank God. But real quick, is no one going to mention the fact that Ralph Dibny was technically confirmed dead in season 1 by Eobard Thawne / Harrison Wells?
You don't even know their names. Jake Davenport, Daria Kim, Ralph Dibny, Al Rothstein. I know the names of every person who died that night. I know they all mattered.
How did he ruin his life if he was still alive and it was Barry that ruined his life? I'm very confused. But you know what? Plot force, fuck the rules. Continuity, who?